Hey there, thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name is Paula. So today is a whole body flowing practice that's really focused on grounding and centering, quite a few sort of standing postures, and we're going to start in a seated position and work through a meditation before we come up to standing. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. If you have a block or a couple of cushions, just have that with you. We're going to start in a seated position, so anything that you need to make yourself feel as comfortable as you can in your seat. So once you're ready, grabbing your block or your cushions, we're just really trying to set up the hips a little bit higher than the knees. And take a few moments just to find your seat, and then when you're ready, closing down the eyes. And feeling free to make any more adjustments if you need to. And then once you're ready, just closing down the eyes and allowing yourself to arrive into this very moment. Feeling the sitting bones down into the block or the cushions. Picturing the length of the entire spinal column, lengthening up and out through the waist. Head stacked up on top of the spine, crown of the head gently lengthening up towards the ceiling. And at the same time, hips heavy and grounding down. Finding the breath. Gently following the natural breath in and out through the nose. Start to bring to mind an image of a mountain. It can be somewhere real or imagined. Allowing the image to take shape. Seeing the mountain from a distance. The base of the mountain, steady, grounded, reaching into the earth. And the peak or the peaks, or maybe there's a plateau for you there somewhere, reaching up into the sky. Feeling into the majestic, dignified nature of the mountain. Being exactly as it is. Noticing if there are any details on your mountain that you can see. And the mountain just is. And as things change around the mountain. Light, sounds, wind. The mountain continues to be there with this gentle, steady presence. And now start to transition to imagining that you are the mountain. The base of your legs, your hips, grounding down to the earth of the base. The gentle sloping down of your arms are the sides of the mountain. And the crown of your head is the peak reaching up into the sky. Feeling into the steady, grounded quality of the mountain. Being exactly as you are right now. Imagine the break of dawn on the horizon. Sun starts to spill out onto the landscape. And onto the mountain itself. And the sun continues to rise into the sky. And clouds drift through the sky. Moment by moment, there is constant change. And within that, the mountain remains steady. And imagine the sun going up high into the sky and continuing its journey down until the sun begins to set. And night falls. Stars appear in the sky. And the mountain continues to be here, having a sense of its own place, its belonging. To this very moment and to all moments. No need to explain its existence. You simply are, exactly as you are. Starting to let go of the image of the mountain. Feeling your sitting bones down into the cushions or your block. Feeling the length of your spine. Softness of the face, shoulders pulling away from the ears. Taking a deeper breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Just once again like that, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just allowing the breath to come back, just in and out through the nose. Blinking open the eyes, starting to make your way off your block or cushions and coming up to a standing position. So we're going to come up into our Tadasana. If you feel like you need a little bit more movement before we start to move into our sun salutes, feel free to just take a little pause, take a bit more movement, and then come up to standing. When you're ready, you're going to find our Tadasana, feet hip distance apart, arms down by your side for a moment, and just bringing the palms of the hands together into your prayer position, letting the elbows drop down and close down the eyes. Tadasana is our standing mountain. So still continuing to feel into the energy of the mountain, that grounding down through the feet, the lengthening up through the crown of the head. Finding the breath. And if you'd like to work with a sankalpa, taking a moment to recall or allow a new sankalpa to emerge, that deep wish or intention, repeating it to yourself 3 times. And then blinking open the eyes, releasing the arms down by your side. Palms just facing outward for a moment to have that external rotation through the upper body. And then taking the arms up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the thumbs as you inhale. As you exhale, take a forward fold into your Uttanasana, bending the knees as much as you need to here, letting the head relax down. And just having a sense of just draping the torso over the thighs. Giving the head a shake no and a shake yes. Taking an inhale into your halfway lift, hands can come to the shin bones or the thighs. Try to shift the weight slightly forward and then exhale, forward fold, bending the knees as much as you need to again. Taking the right leg back and the left foot back, coming into your plank position, spreading into the palms of the hands, pressing the mat away, lift the front of the body away from the mat, taking an inhale. As we exhale, we're going to come down to knees, chest and chin, so Ashtangasana, keeping the toes tucked under, a little dive of the chest in between the hands, tucking the elbows in, and then release the tops of the feet down, release the belly down, coming up into your baby cobra. Hands can be besides the ribs, squeezing the elbows in, looking forward, taking one more inhale, lifting up a bit higher, and then as you exhale, press through your tabletop, tuck the toes under, back into your child's pose here. This is that variation with the toes tucked under, long through both sides of the waist. And then shift the weight forward into your hands and then lifting up into your down facing dog. 5 breaths in your down facing dog. If you would like to take movement here, then please feel free to do what you need. If you feel okay to be in stillness, allow the eyes to be steady in between the ankles and find your breath. Pressing down through the palms of the hands to lengthen out through both sides of the waist, chest reaching towards the thighs. And if you need to keep your knees slightly bent here, that's also completely fine. Gently drawing the navel in towards the spine as you exhale. And then right
rising up onto the balls of the feet, looking towards the hands and walking your feet all the way up towards the top of the mat, coming into your Uttanasana, bending the knees. If you need to, take an inhale into your halfway lift, sternum reaches forward, exhale, fold. Pressing down through the feet, take an inhale, take the arms up, palms of hands together, and then exhale back into Tadasana. Let's go again. Inhaling, arms up, looking to the thumbs, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Bend the knees, step the left foot and then the right foot back, finding your plank position. Press the mat away, taking an inhale. Exhale, knees, chest and chin down. Release the toes, release the belly. Inhale into your baby cobra. Exhale back into your child's pose and then into down facing dog. 5 breaths once again. Trying to draw the kneecaps up if there's space. As you press down to the hands, hips lifting up towards the ceiling. Wrapping the armpits in to face one another to broaden across the upper back and create space around the neck. And rising up onto the balls of the feet, walking up towards the top of the mat, coming up into your Uttanasana, relaxing the head down, taking an inhale into your halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. Rising up, Urdhva Hastasana, inhale, and then exhale back to your Tadasana. Once again, taking an inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Left foot and right foot back. Inhale into your plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Release the feet, release the belly. Inhale into your baby cobra. Exhale back, child's pose, and then into your down facing dog. Just 3 breaths now. Try to find that Ujjayi breath if that's available for you. So slow breath in and slow breath out. Maybe if there's a bit more space, you might be able to reach your heels down as you draw the quadriceps up. Rising up onto the balls of the feet and walk the feet forward up towards the top of the mat. Finding your Uttanasana here, letting the head relax down. Take an inhale into your halfway lift and then exhale, fold. Rising up, inhaling, palms, hands come together. Draw the hands down through the center line now and release the arms down by your side. Bringing the feet together now. Side by side, if that's available. Otherwise, you can still keep them apart if that feels better for you. And then bending through the knees, scooping the arms up, coming into your Utkatasana. If it's available, palms of the hands together, crossing the thumbs, and then sitting the hips down, shifting the weight slightly back into the heels. And maybe the eyes looking forward, or maybe the eyes looking up. Find the breath. If the feet are together, squeezing those inner thighs together, maybe sitting down a little bit deeper. Take one more inhale and then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, relax the head. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, hands down, stepping back into your plank position. Now up to you, you could continue with the knees, chest, chin if that works better for you, or modify Chaturanga with knees down. If you feel ready for full Chaturanga, shift the weight slightly forward, elbows straight back, and then coming over to the tops of the feet into your cobra or up facing dog, and then back into your down facing dog. Just taking a moment here. Rising up onto the balls of the feet, take that right leg up into your 3-legged dog. Take an inhale, exhale. Knee to chest and step the foot forward in between the hands. Plant that left heel down and coming up into your warrior one. Hands can be shoulder distance apart, or if it feels available, palms of hands together, crossing the thumbs. Just notice which thumb is crossed on top, and either you can be looking straight ahead or you might be able to look up to the hands. Find the breath. Pressing down through the outer edge of that left foot, maybe bending a bit deeper into this front leg. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, open out into your warrior two, opening out that left foot, slightly bending into this right knee, and then straightening into the front leg. Inhale, exhale into your Trikonasana. This is somewhere you might want to use your block. Back of the hand could rest to the inside of the shin, or maybe taking the ankle, eyes turning towards that top hand. Find the breath. Grounding down through the outer edge of that left foot, as well as the base of the front big toe. Taking one more inhale, and then as you exhale, fold this left hand down, bend into the front leg and rotate into your runner's lunge. Take an inhale, chest forward, and then exhale, start to straighten to the front leg just to where you can, and then bend once again. Take an inhale, and then exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. And this time, let's hold it here if that feels available. Take another inhale into your halfway lift, and then just fold down. Maybe this front leg is still really bent. That's totally fine. Steady the gaze. Slow down the breathing. And then bending to the front leg, stepping back into your three-legged dog. Inhale, exhale to shift the weight forward. Maybe you want to keep this foot off. As you lower down, place the foot down, and then inhale into your up-facing dog. Exhale, down-facing dog. Take a breath here. Rise up into the balls of the feet. Take that left leg up. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Step it forward. Right heel down. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Crossing the palms, if that's available. Other thumb on top, and eyes forward, or eyes looking up towards the hands. Bend a bit deep into that front leg. Outer edge of that right foot pressing down. One more full breath. And on the next exhale, opening out into your warrior two. Arms down to shoulder height. And then straighten into this front leg and lengthen out through both sides of the waist. Finding your block or placing the hand onto the shin or the ankle. Turning the eyes to look up towards that top hand into your Trikonasana. And gently trying to lift away from that bottom hand. Check in with your breathing. Taking another inhale. And then as you exhale, bring this right hand down, bend into the front leg, rotate onto the ball of the right foot. So you're in your runner's lunge, taking an inhale, chest forward, and then exhale, start to straighten into this front leg. And then again, inhale to bend, exhale to straighten. One more time, inhale to bend, exhale to straighten. And then taking another inhale to just come into a halfway lift, a little mini one, and then hands might be coming down. This front leg might be still quite bent. Just make it work for you. Slow down the breathing. And then bend into this front leg. Take this left leg back into your three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, shifting it forward into your plank position, maybe keeping it off as you lower down, placing it back down, coming into your up-facing dog. And then back into down facing dog. 3 breaths here. Try to slow down the breathing. Now, rise up onto the balls of feet. Take this right leg up, bending the knee so you can open up at the hip. Just taking a moment here. And you might stay here, but if you would like to, we're going to pivot onto the outside of that left foot, drop that ball of the right foot down. You can lower the hips down slightly and then press back up into your wild thing. Reaching that right hand back, spinning that left tricep towards the top edge of the mat. Just finding the breath. And then to come out, just going to soften the hips down slightly. Come back onto the ball of the left foot. Reach that right leg up, 3-legged dog. Inhale, step it forward. Left heel down. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Now we're going to hold our warrior 2 now. Finding the arms down at shoulder height, lengthening out through the fingertips, setting the gaze down towards the middle finger of the front hand, and find the breath. Can you bend a bit deeper in that front leg? And then let's straighten into this right leg. Inhale, exhale back into your Trikonasana. And this time here, option to just cradle the back of the head with your left hand to help lengthen out the back of the neck, and then turning the head to look up towards the ceiling if there's space. Engage the right quadricep. And then let's fold down, bend into this right leg, rotate into your runner's lunge, and then turn this right foot to face the side, and we're coming into our Cleopatra. So just taking a moment here, and then inhale, coming up, placing that right hand back down, and then we're going to come down onto this left knee and start to shift into Ardha Hanuman. Maybe this right heel needs to go a little bit further forward. Take an inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. Slow down your breathing. Trying to draw that right hip crease back. Now, absolutely fine to stay here. You might be using your blocks or block. Anyone who would like to, you might want to start to go a bit further forward, but just be really mindful. Take your time. Not trying to get anywhere, but if this feels available and you want to explore going to a deeper split, then you can feel free to do this. Try to flex the foot towards the face. Take one more full breath. And then if you're a little bit further, gently come back and then shift the weight into that front leg, tuck the back toes under, step back into your down facing dog. Taking a breath in, exhale out through the mouth. Once again, just like that. Deep breath in, exhale out through the mouth. And just allow the breath to come back in and out through the nose. Rising up into the balls of the feet, take that left leg up, bending at the knee, opening up through the hips now. And this might be plenty for you. You want to stay here, absolutely fine. If you'd like to, we're going to pivot onto this outside of that right foot, come to the ball of the left foot, lowering the hips down slightly, and then lifting up into your wild thing. Reaching that left hand back, spinning that right tricep to face the top of the mat. Keep breathing. And then gently lower the hips down so you can come back, extending that left leg into your 3-legged dog. Inhale, stepping it forward, right heel down. Inhaling, warrior 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Just setting yourself up for your warrior 2 to hold it here. Steady gaze. Bending a little bit deeper in that front leg if it's available. And then take an inhale, straighten that front leg. And then as you exhale, Trikonasana, this time option to bring that right hand at the base of the neck, trying to lengthen out the head, or the neck I should say, and then turning the head to face the ceiling. Keep engaging that left quadricep. Anchor down through the outer edge of that right foot, lifting away from the bottom hand. And then folding in with that right elbow, bending into that right leg, framing the front foot, and then coming down into your Cleopatra, that left toe is pointing to the side. Take an inhale to rainbow up, and then face the front of the mat again. Come down onto that right knee. Take an inhale, exhaling into your Ardha Hanuman. Take an inhale into your halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. Trying to draw that left hip crease back. And then maybe some of you would like to experiment a little bit with coming a little bit deeper into your forward splits. Trying to keep drawing that left hip crease back. Stay connected to the breath. And if you're a little bit further down, just make your way back to that halfway point. Everyone bend into that front leg, tuck the back toes under, stepping back into down facing dog. Taking a breath here. Looking forward towards the top of the mat, walking the feet all the way forward into your Uttanasana. And then let's take hold of the big toes with the first two fingers, feet hip distance apart. Take an inhale to lengthen out through the crown. And then exhale, starting to bend the elbows out to the side. Now maybe if it's better for you to bend the elbows or just bend the knees, or just hold the elbows, that's totally fine. Relax the back of the neck. Slow down the breathing. Take an inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale all the way up to standing. And then releasing the hands, bringing the feet a little bit closer together. Just bring the hands to the waist for a moment. We're going to come into Vrikshasana, or tree. So you might start down here or a little bit higher, not against the knee, above the knee. You could use your hands to press the right foot against the inner edge of that left thigh, trying to keep both hip bones pointing forward. And then when you're ready, hands can come into your prayer position. Just steady spot with the eyes, somewhere a couple of meters down on the ground, or you could be looking straight ahead, something that's not moving. Maybe the hands can come up. And maybe you'd like to open the hands out like the branches of the tree. Tip of the index finger and thumb lightly touching. Find the breath. And then bring the palms of the hands together, draw them down through the center line, and gently release the right foot down. Feeling the weight onto both feet for a moment. Hands to the waist, feeling that grounding action through both feet, and then transferring the weight into that right foot, maybe just left foot slightly, left heel wrapping around that right ankle, or a bit higher, or maybe there's space to bring it up to the inner edge of that right thigh. Palms of hands coming to your prayer position. Keeping that left hip bone in line with the right hip rather than pulling back. And maybe there's space to take the arms up and open the branches out of your tree. When you're ready, bring the palms of hands together, draw them down through the center line, and then releasing that left foot down. Well done. Taking the arms out, inhaling, palms, hands come together, and then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, stepping back into your down facing dog, and then open the knees out wide, big toes together, sitting back into your child's pose. And you can just let the arms rest, so making a little diamond shape with the hands, allowing the hips to be heavy. So allowing the breath to slow right down now. And then walking the hands back up so you can come up to a seated position, knees can come together, sitting over to one side and making your way down onto your back. Feet down in your constructive rest position for a moment, bringing the knees in, curling the forehead up towards the knees, taking an inhale, stay for the exhale, squeezing up, and then as you inhale, opening out into your X shape, just letting the whole body relax for a moment. And then scooping it all in, taking an inhale, stay for the exhale, and then as you inhale, opening out into your X shape, and then bending the knees, keeping the torso down now, squeezing the knees in just one more time, and maybe some little circles in one direction, and then circles in the other direction. And then coming to stillness, taking an inhale, stay for the exhale, squeezing the legs in, and then releasing the legs all the way out long. Just preparing yourself for your Shavasana. So if there's anything that you need to do, any adjustments, popping something warmer on, feeling really free to do that. So with each exhale, allowing the body to get a little bit heavier and a little bit softer. Feeling supported by the earth underneath you. Allowing the muscles of the face to soften. Just allowing yourself to come to complete rest. Please feel free to stay resting here if you'd like to. If you're ready to start to make your way out, starting to wriggle the fingers and the toes, deepening into the breath. And then bending one leg up at a time. Just rolling over onto the side of your choice, taking a moment, just resting on your side. And then using your hands to help you to come up to a seated position, just coming to a cross-legged position, just keeping the eyes closed just for the last few moments, resting the hands down onto the knees or the thighs. And for a moment, checking in with that internal sense of the steadiness and the dignity of the mountain. Allowing that to be within you whenever you need it throughout your day or week. Bringing the palms of the hands together into your prayer position and gently bowing the head down towards your hands. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice. Namaste.